Hello, vinyl community. George Allen here. LPs and CDs. And I'm going to talk about a record I just received recently through the mail because I purchased it. Been trying to get it for a while, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit, and it's almost kind of like a little bit of a tribute video because we're going to be talking about Michael Bloomfield, who's been gone now 40 years. And I've been wanting to get this. It's called Bloomfield, a Retrospective. And it's double LP. And it's got a nice collection of his material with several of the bands he was with, and in particular with Electric Flag, with Triumvirate. I'll talk about that a little bit. With some of his previously unreleased material, and also some Super Session stuff. And I've done a video on that a few weeks back, Super Session with him and Al Kooper, and it's just a very interesting compilation here. And of course, probably because of legal arrangements, he didn't have some stuff on here that would have been nice to have with Butterfield Blues Band, which is how I first heard about him. What's interesting is that Michael Bloomfield, you know, was rated by many critics as being one of the top guitarists, American blues jazz guitarist, rock guitarist too, I guess. And on this album, actually, there's the material that was not been released was recorded prior to even his joining Butterfield Blues Band, which is, like I said, when I first heard about him and discovered him. And that was released in 1965. These recordings here are from 1964. And he actually had a contract before Paul Butterfield Blues Band had a contract. As John Hammond Sr. Saw him play, heard him, and liked him a lot. And then later, in '65, he showed up in the studio with Bob Dylan, and was on several recordings with Bob Dylan, and that's how he met Al Kooper, who then, after Mike Bloomfield left Butterfield Blues Band, he said he just couldn't handle the touring. It's just too much for him. And started Electric Flag. After Electric Flag for a year or two, left that, and then Al Kooper, knowing him, said, hey, let's get together and do an album. That's when they did Super Session. And well, one of the tracks on here which caught my attention, that was one of the cuts that was not released previously, that he does on here, is just him playing piano. I was shocked, him singing and playing piano. And he actually was a fairly good piano player, and it's almost kind of like a I don't know, like a boogie woogie type song, blues song. And I was really somewhat impressed with his piano playing. At first I thought it was just him singing vocals, and someone else playing the piano, till I was looking at the credits and it's just him playing the piano and singing. And so it was, he's really a talented musician. And you know, it was said that throughout his career that Mike Bloomfield was plagued with drug use. And some say that was the reason why he, after starting Electric Flag with Buddy Miles, wonderful drummer and great vocalist too, that the guys in the Electric Flag just said, listen, you know, he's too inconsistent. His version, of course, Michael Bloomfield's version is that, oh, I just got tired of playing with these guys. Their version was, listen, these drugs are just too much. And he admitted at one time, he said, listen, I start doing drugs, I can't play. And it's very sad that it happens that way. And then, you know, when he did this, talking about Triumvirate, that was him and Dr. John and John Hammond Jr. The album got great reviews. Unfortunately, Mike Bloomfield said, "No, I can't see it." He just didn't want to do any touring or anything. I think they did one club date and that was it. And of course, one of the more notable recordings he did later on was when Paul Butterfield, he reunited with Paul Butterfield and Muddy Waters, and they did the Fathers and Son recordings. And that's got some fine music on it. And but Mike Bloomfield, none of that's on here. Probably because, again, legal issues, what they could get released and put together on here. But this is, listen, if you have a chance to pick up this album, it's got a lot of fine music, especially quite a bit of it, at least half of it is unreleased stuff. And like I said, then there's a few things from Electric Flag, Super Session, one cut from the Triumvirate album. It's worth picking up. It's worth picking up. This was released in 1983, 2 years after he passed. I think there might be a few other type of compilations. I'm not sure. I think one or two others. But this is a great thing to have. If you're into blues, rock and blues, jazz blues, Mike Bloomfield's excellent guitarist, worth having. So that's what I got for today, and check it out. You'll be glad you did. Okie dokie. See you down the road, folks. Bye-bye.